So, we are on hard mode now. Things are surely going to be difficult moving forward. I will be changing up my editing style, so dialogue narration will be on the important stuff. And no dialogues on the actual boss runs. This keeps the boss fights more appealing for you guys, while still keeping Greg's shenanigans and awesome gamer moments intact. Alright, let's continue on. Hard mode. On the last video, Greg made it to this point of progress. Hey, not bad, I should say. He's just doing his own thing. Unguided, with only tips and useful information from Yellowking. Greg explores the new world hoping to find something new. It's not long after that, Greg spots something strange in the snowy biome. Like the Crimson and Corruption, the ice biome got corrupted by a new type of land infection, fairy. You might think a fairy biome is safe, like all the movies suggest, but you'd be dead with that mindset. Fairy biome is actually the same tier of danger level as Corruption and Crimson. So one might think Greg will quickly get out of that biome, right? Well, Greg starts to build a base in that biome. Smart move, I don't know, but we still need houses for the new NPCs. As expected, new mobs are coming for Greg. But it looks like Greg isn't worried a single bit, focusing more on the house he will build. Alright, here is super fast build mode for those who want to see Greg's process. See? It was fast. A pretty cool base from Greg. Moving on, Greg wants to farm the souls from the new mobs in the fairy biome. Pause. I was told by Yellowking that it's called the hollow biome. I already sense tiny bits of you who play the game commenting, or not, because Greg only has this few subscribers. Subscribe for Greg. Back to the game. Yellowking and Greg farm up some souls, expanding the area along with it. Greg continues to farm for a while, but checks out the house he built. People are already living in it. Oh my god, bro. Greg is flabbergasted. This potion combination might be broken. For those of you who don't know, I covered it a bit on the last video, so I'll explain it again. If you purchase 30 of a potion and put it in your piggy bank, you gain the full effects indefinitely. That means you can stack up on potions and never worry about them running out. Having all these buffs combined in just a few bottles is broken. Greg doesn't know if buffs stack, but I'm not reading anything and just going with pure experience, not searching stuff online. Back to it. Greg checks out the other NPCs, nothing too noteworthy. So Greg goes back down the Hallow and farms souls again. Yellowking also built this farm thing, but Greg doesn't know how to use it, so he fights on the side and dies. After farming the right amount of souls, Greg finally shows us what he will use them for, a new pair of wings, but Greg is short on feathers. He quickly fixes that. Hey, Greg got new wings. Hopefully he doesn't do any reckless stunts with them, and he challenges Fishron. It's only been 30 minutes in hard mode, and he already wants to get his ass beat. Finally, an NPC that will help Greg with his class, a bandit that sells rogue-focused items. Greg isn't going to pass up on those deals, but Greg is broke. He can't buy the good gear right now. So he bought a new weapon, a cane that takes money from enemies he hits, and this old die that increases his luck. Don't really know what luck is for, so we get to farming. They encountered their first mimic. Mimics drop great loot, and Greg needs loot to sell right now. So why is Greg going off screen again? That's what you get for not doing anything. Farming in the Hallow is a whole lot of a nothing burger, so they head to the Corruption and farm the Eater of Worlds. For those wondering why farm the Eater of Worlds, well, there is a trick. I don't know if it's a glitch, but when you kill him, you get 2 boss bags instead of 1. Greg uses the loot from that and sells them for profit. 26 bags should be enough for now. After getting all that money, he goes back to the bandit and gets the Eye of the Bear, which gives a buff and summons a cute cat, and Greg dumps the rest on battle potions. It's not nearly enough. Greg wants to test the potions and the eye out, and you might be thinking, he should test it on the Hallow Biome farm, right? Yup, testing it on bosses is a much better idea. So here we go.
No! You want Asgard? It's yours.
Whatever game you're playing, it won't work. You can't defeat me.
No, I know. But he can.
No.
I counted 3 deaths on that fight, bringing in the signature move of dying at the very last moments of the fight. Yeah, I know, Greg, 50% of that fight sat on top of the hill. Crazy! Beating the boss spawned this NPC. Just as Greg is examining the weapons he's going to use, Yellowking spawns in Anahita. Of course, Greg teleported to him, but they are still unprepared and die. Greg creates new pickaxes and goes down to the caves to find the new hard mode ores. Those ores might come in handy in the future. Greg goes back to the sunken sea for a rematch on the giant clam. With this small arena, it didn't end well. Going again, and now in a huge space. They beat it again, and Greg used his ability to secure the kill. After that type of performance, Yellowking gave Greg a new weapon for him. Hope this isn't too powerful. They once again farmed the Eater of Worlds. We will see more of this farming, so give prayers for the Eater of Worlds. This is enough for now. Greg bought the new potions and sold the old ones with the same effects. Greg doesn't think they stack. Finally, Greg has a weapon goal in mind, the Kelvin Catalyst, a really strong weapon, but he doesn't have enough resources. So we have to fight Cryogen again.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
No.
We finally got what we need to craft the Kelvin Catalyst. Pirates are invading. Great. Time to go killing again. Finally, it's over. We can craft the Kelvin Catalyst now.
Huh?
Great, we finally beat one of the 3 mechanical bosses, and we spread Orichalcum and Mithril in the process. Alright, time to craft the Kelvin Catalyst. But Greg didn't get to rest, because Yellowking summoned Skeletron.
Do you want to play games? Okay. I'll play with you. Come on. Okay. Do you want to play rough? Okay.
Uno.
Say hello to my little friend!
Okay, now we defeated 2 mechanical bosses. Surely we can craft the Kelvin Catalyst this time.
He's just standing there.
Alright, coast is clear. Finally, the Kelvin Catalyst. Greg should test it out. And he goes down to the mines, not going to test the weapon you just created, huh? So that's what you had in mind, it. Maybe an accident, but you gotta test it alright. After that shenanigans, Greg has a new goal. A new hard mode armor, the Titan Heart armor. Greg is now committed to the rogue role. But to get Titan armor, Greg needs Titan hearts. And you get those from Titans in the new hard mode biome, the Astral Infection. If those other biomes are the same tier, this one is a step above that, but Greg isn't worried a bit because he got his new weapon. He makes a big area with the Wand of Blast. It works wonders to clear anything, as long as your pickaxe is a high tier. Just as Greg finished the open space, Yellowking spawns in the twins, the final boss of the 3 mechanical bosses. Few almost didn't make it before twins died. Alright, back to farming Titan Hearts. We drank a Zerd potion. It's a buff, or should I say a debuff, because it causes mob spawn rate to go crazy. After farming for 30 minutes, Greg goes up to a temple thing to get Astral Monolith. It's the only item left to craft the Titan Heart armor. But Greg got a bit curious about an altar in the middle of a small tower.
I never needed to ask for anyone's permission before.
So why start now, huh?
Go on, Jack. Sign it. Go on, Jack. Sign it, Jack. Sign it.
You signed it.
So, tell me, what happens now?
Have a nice day.
that was difficult. Didn't expect a really hard boss to come out from that altar. We only won because we cycled our deaths to buy time for the other to respawn. Greg and Yellowking actually beat a hard boss really under-leveled. I need a break. Break's over, let's continue. Greg finally crafted the Titan Heart set. Should have crafted that before fighting that thing. It's time to fight Eater of Worlds again, yay. Back in the base, Greg adjusted his gear and found rogue-type accessories to be somewhat on par with Yellowking. After that, I forgot to mention, but Greg has Solon on a new Sky Island now, and she wants Greg to fix the telescope. After fixing it, Solon and Greg use the telescope and see many celestial things, including this celestial rift of doom, which is not what Solon expected and puts her into deep thought. Finally, Greg gets to talk to girls. Solon said she enjoyed the short event and gives Greg Skyglaze, which Greg is not going to use ever. Up next on the boss list is Queen Slime. Nothing much happened after Queen Slime. Then we challenge Aquatic Scourge. Believe it. Greg used his ability on Aquatic Scourge. Well, moving on, as we were fighting Aquatic Scourge, acid rain poured in, and now it's cleared. Yellowking advised Greg to search for life plants to stay a bit longer in fights. As I was getting started finding life plants, Yellowking summoned his future companion. Well, Yellowking needs to craft her first to make her fight with us. And Greg saw a person and it's gone. Don't know what its deal is. Anyways, let's get back to farming life plants. Yellowking is already way ahead of progress. I'm not even fully done yet, and Yellowking spawns in a boss. Yeah, Greg messed that one up real badly. You just had to use your signature ability, huh? Oh yeah, I will be uploading Yellowking's POV. It's already uploaded along with this video. So go ahead and check it out. So this is the end of the video. I hope you stay tuned for the next part. I hope you guys subscribe and like this video. It really means a lot to me for the work we've put through on the video. So like for part 2,